Good morning, children. Till now we completed the important life process like nutrition and respiration. Today we are going to learn about the another important life process, which is transportation or transport system. Transport system, transportation or circulatory system. Circulatory system. In this lesson, we are going to discuss about the parts associated with the circulatory system, structure of heart, evolution of circulatory system, and how this transport system is going to happen, or circulation is going to happen of materials in plants. Okay, children? So now, first we will learn about what is the meaning of transport. So, to get so many things every day, we are going from one place to another place using transport. Like any vehicle we are going to use, and so that we can get the work, but we can get the things whatever we are in need. Okay. So for example, if we take so much of waste materials whichever are collected in our day-to-day life, if they are kept as it is at one place, what is going to happen means they will be collected, and that is not good for the environment. So these materials, garbage, whatever, whichever is collected, it is going to be transported to the disposal place. So here in our body also same thing is going to happen. The materials, whatever are needed, like different materials, gases, then water, then nutrients, all these are hormones, all these are going to be transported from one part to the other part in the living organisms. Okay, suppose if the, so I hope you understood what is the meaning of transport system. Every day to perform the life activities, the organisms are in need of different kinds of materials like nutrients, gases like oxygen or carbon dioxide or other things, then nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, fats or vitamins. Then coming to the next point, the waste materials like whichever are produced, excretory materials, urine or waste, other sweat, etc. So all these are going to be transported. Okay, so that is going to happen because of transport system. So now you understood the importance of transport system. So if they are collected and if they remain at one place, then it is difficult. The maintenance of the body will become difficult. Okay, we cannot survive. So transport system is needed to dispose them in a proper way, or to supply them in a proper way. So now this circulatory system in previous animals, for example amoeba if you take, as it is said to be a single celled cell, there is no much process. So just that by the process of some amoeba if we take, so it contains nucleus and cytoplasm is there, the carbon dioxide is going to be sending out, and the oxygen whichever is present here, it is going to be entering here through this cell membrane only. So as it is said to be simple structure, then there is no problem for it in a primitive animal, single celled animals. Whereas higher animals if we take, worse design is there, complicated structure is there, for that the system is evolved in such a way that there are so many parts involved in the heart, then blood vessels are there. Okay children, so that is introduction of a transport system. Circulatory system includes a pumping device is there, which we call it as the heart, associated blood vessels, heart, blood vessels. Then how this materials are going to be transported, that is through blood. In blood only they are going to be transported. Then lymph is also a part. Lymph. So all these are present in the transport system. Heart, blood vessels, blood, lymph. When we go to doctor, you might have observed that doctor is going to hold, keep fingers on the wrist like this and he is going to count. So what does it mean? What it indicates? What he is going to understand with that? So we observe here rhythmic movement we can observe here on the wrist, that is called pulse. So what does this pulse indicate? By counting the pulse, keeping hand like the fingers on the wrist, a doctor can identify the heartbeat. So how many times the heart is going to be beaten. So that can be known with the help of pulse. Okay, so this pulse rate is not same all the time. So how many times it is going to be? Usually 70 to 80 times. But it varies. It is not same. It differs from situation to situation, time to time. Okay, when we are at rest, it will be normal. Suppose if we are doing studious exercises, when we are doing hard work, the rate of pulse rate will increase. Or if we listen any anxiety, if we are in anxiety, or if we listen any excited news, at that time also the pulse rate will be increasing. Or if you are not well, the pulse rate will be increasing. Is it clear to you children? So by observing the pulse rate, we can identify how many times the heart is going to beat. Then, now I said that there is a pumping device in the human body, that is heart. William Harvey said that the heart is helping in pumping blood to the different parts, but he failed how it is going to pump. So later different scientists, they studied about the other structures also, how the blood is going to be transported from the heart to the different parts of the body. So let that in due course of time we learn about that. So now heart. So where is heart located? Heart is located in the chest region, left side, in between the two lungs. Inside in between in the chest region, the heart is situated in the little bit slightly left side. Is it clear to children? Then the heart is just is in size of one's own fist. One's own fist. So it is just conical in shape, and it is having parts like 4 chambers are there. Upper 2 chambers are called auricles and lower 2 chambers are called as ventricles, and it is having major blood vessels also. So we will draw later neat diagram. So rough diagram only I am doing. Now the heart is covered by a membrane called pericardial membrane. So the outer covering is there. So because heart is said to be the vital organ, it is very important organ, as it is continuously working from birth to death. As it has to work continuously, it has to get protected. Okay, how it is getting protected? It is protected because of the heart layer, whatever that layer it is there, it is called as pericardial layer or pericardial membrane. Pericardial membrane. And as already I explained that the heart is present in between the two lungs and it is just protected by the rib cage. So suppose if we see like this, we have if we touch, we have here bones. So that case of bone or framework is called as a rib cage, and inside this rib cage the heart is situated like this. Okay. So now how this heart is getting protected? The heart is protected from the physical blows or injuries, that is because of rib cage, bones are present, bony framework, and it is covered with pericardial membrane. Okay. So these two are going to help. So next, the pericardial layer, as it is having two layers, and in between these two pericardial layers we observe a fluid called as pericardial fluid. Fluid is there, pericardial fluid. So that pericardial fluid, pericardial membrane and rib cage, they are going to protect the heart from any physical blows or injuries or any other shocking news when you are listening. Is it clear to children? Okay. So now the internal structure of heart. So you please read the activity. So you can understand. If you don't follow, I can explain you. I can make you to read that part later. So it is homework for you. We have to read the activity, lab activity. So for that, what we have to do? We have to collect the mammalian heart. Mammalian heart we have to collect. That is goat or sheep heart we have to collect. We have to clean it properly with water. Then or wash it with water. Then drain off the blood from that, and if we cut it and if we observe it, we can see the so many parts. So here chambers like we can see. So here structure, if we see this heart, it is just conical in shape and it is narrow, and the upper portion is broader little bit. Okay, and if we touch it, we can see here there is a groove, vertical groove is there, and it is going to separate the heart into two parts, left and right side. Okay, groove is there, vertical septum or groove is there, it is going to separate the heart into right and left side. There is a horizontal groove, if we touch only we can feel it. So if we see, there is also a groove, heart structure like a bony plate like structure and muscle like structure. It is going to separate the heart into upper and lower parts. Okay, so the upper parts, whatever we are observing, they are called as auricles, left auricle and right auricle, and left ventricle and right ventricle. Okay, so now all together how many chambers are there in the human heart? There are 4 chambers. Very important part. 4 chambers are present in human heart. So they are separated because of the vertical and horizontal septa. Vertical and horizontal septa is going to separate the heart into 4 chambers. So the upper chambers are called as auricles and lower chambers are called as ventricles. Is it clear to children? Then 4 chambered heart we can observe here. Then there are so many blood vessels. So see, in what way we are going to learn the blood vessels? Blood vessels we are going to learn 3 ways. First, we learn about the arteries, then veins and capillaries. There are 3 major blood vessels, and 3 types: arteries, veins and capillaries. So arteries are the major blood vessels which are going to bring away the blood from heart. Means what? They are away from the heart. Means they are carrying blood from heart to the different parts of the body. That is to head or to hands or to legs. Okay, whatever it may be, all parts are going to be supplied with blood. That is because of heart. Means what you can understand? Arteries are carrying oxygenated blood. Then veins are the major blood vessels which are bringing back blood from different parts of the body. Is it clear? So from which parts? Means all parts of our body. So as that life activities are going to happen, each and every cell is performing different activities like respiration, digestion or excretion. Some waste materials are going to be just produced. So they are going to be back to the heart. So that is happening. That is happening because of veins. So means what? Veins are bringing back blood. that is impure blood to the heart. Okay, veins are bringing impure blood to the heart from different parts. Then, so as external structure of heart, if we see, so just we can see there are minute blood vessels which are present not only in heart, different parts are also are there. So minute blood vessels which we are observing all over the body, we call them as capillaries. Okay, is it clear to children? Arteries, veins and capillaries are the blood vessels. Is it clear to you? Then, so how this, as that heart is pumping continuously blood and it is working continuously, how this heart can able to get nutrients means there are major vessels like. So what we call them means they are said to be here coronary blood vessels. Coronary blood vessels. So means suppose if we observe a specimen of any animal heart specimen of any animal, we can see that on the heart we can see minute fine hair-like blood vessels which we call them as the coronary blood vessels. Where do we observe them? Only on the heart. Okay. So these coronary arteries, coronary vein and capillaries. What do? They are going to continuously monitor or help in pumping the blood in a rhythmic manner. Coronary blood vessels are going to pump the blood and uptake blood from the heart. Is it clear to children? Everybody followed? Okay. And it is going to be just sent to the respective parts again through this coronary blood vessels. So now, if we see how that process is going to happen means wherever that openings are there, auricles always open into ventricles. Right auricle, left auricle, ventricles. Are there no children? How they are opening? Right auricle and right ventricle, they are opening into the respective ventricles only. So this right auricle is opening into the right ventricle through a valve. So there are valves are present. So you will be observing valves in our house also, near in kitchens, taps, safety valves, you know that. So what do they do means they protect. Here these valves, whatever are there, they are going to protect the blood flow. In what way? They stop the blood flow in backward direction. So wherever the valves are present, the valves are going to help in preventing the blood flow in backward direction. Is it clear to you? So left side if we see bicuspid valve is present and here right side tricuspid valve is present. Is it clear to children? So bicuspid valve is present. So there is a valve which is allowing blood, impure blood whichever is collected from the different parts of the right side. Left side bicuspid valve is present and right side tricuspid valve is present. So the impure blood whichever is collected from all body parts, it is going to be collected in the right auricle. From the right auricle it is entering into the right ventricle through the tricuspid valve. And here whatever it is valve is there, that is called bicuspid. Bicuspid valve. Is clear to children?